before we get on to the questions, 30-27 Casey. Oh my.
Mate, don't even start. Don't even start. I genuinely was sitting there, and like, I know I'm not a judge, but I've been watching MMA for a long time. I would have said that could have gone 29-28 either way. But I was thinking, if you look at the significant strikes, if you look at the cage control, who took centre cage, Casey Kenny was on the back foot the entire time. Nathaniel, I'm not going to be biased. He is my friend, but mate, his pressure and the volume of his strikes was fucking. Casey was getting tired, so he just shot for them 2 takedowns, which I wouldn't really class as a takedown, because I've been told that they judge takedowns on how you get up. You know, so yeah, he took Nathan's back, but Nathan hit the switch and then stood back up against the cage. So I don't, mate, that was just some fucking poor judging.
It was some. When I heard when Bruce Buffer said 30,
even Nathan did it. Like, I was like, really? Even Nathan did it. Like, I was like, really?
Yeah, I don't think he won all round. I think it was, as you said there, 29-28 either way.
The guy that said 30-27, it was David Leatherby, and he's English. He's an English guy, so yeah, I know.
Anyway, so we'll quickly get into it, and so we're already into it now. Actually, I'll quickly introduce you. So hopefully, I'll pronounce your second name correct. Hopefully, I'll pronounce your second name correct. It's
Muir. Close.
Oh, close. Yeah. So we are joined today by Jordan Muir.
Yeah, good.
How's it going? By Jordan Muir.
Yeah, good.
How's it going?
How you doing? You alright?
I'm good. So you're 3-0 in your pro MMA career already, and your last 4 in March. That was 7 months ago. Has it been frustrating not being able to play in 2020?
I mean, everyone's
not being able to play in 2020?
I mean, everyone's kind of in the same boat, really. I know there's a couple places that are putting on fights, like Celtic Gladiators had one. I was offered a fight November 21st, but I've got things booked up at the moment, so I can't really put the time in to do a full camp and not upset the plans. So I'm hoping I get that fight in the new year, either January or February will be good. Yeah,
you said you wanted to be back in 2020. What is that? So you wanted to see through 2020. Has it been good to have like kind of a break off and kind of work on things like with your Brad Pickett? Your Brad Pickett? That's kind of like
be good. Yeah, it's a difficult situation really, because obviously they took the gyms away from everybody. So initially everyone was kind of trying to do their own thing, making home gyms, buying stuff like. But now that the gyms are back on, you know, everybody's been training as normal and just cracking on with things. It's good to obviously have Brad there because he's like a wealth of knowledge. But I've also got Nathaniel there too, all the boys down at GB Top Team, people like Wesley Meyer who's coming up, people like Mike Eckendale who's already established in Cage Warriors and other professional promotions. And then I've got people like Nick and Yuki. Obviously Nick's just turned pro, Yuki's still amateur with me, but they've shown me a lot of a lot of things, and they teach me a lot of good stuff. So training's going good.
So I was looking through your Instagram before this interview, and I can't help but notice your awareness for mental health, and I think it's so beautiful to see a fighter acknowledging it. And I can't thank you enough for what you've done for the mental health community, and I thank you on behalf of the MMA community on what you've done for mental health and awareness.
That means
mental health and awareness.
That means a lot to me, mate. I say I definitely hold close to my heart, and I definitely believe that it's not spoken about enough, especially amongst men and especially amongst fighters. I know it's looked at as a very tough sport, and people believe that these people that you see on TV that are fighting, they're all physically tough, they can never have anything in particular going on upstairs, which I think is crazy. So I definitely believe that it's something that should be talked about and expressed a lot more by people.
Just like a recent situation which has come out in the media recently, you know, we've got Mike Perry and his wife, what's going on over there. I hope everything's fine with them, but that, you know, head trauma could lead on to different things, and hopefully, you know, everything's okay with you and in the future.
Yeah, no, I saw that about Mike Perry. It's about his ex-wife, wasn't it? I saw that about Mike Perry. It's about his ex-wife, wasn't it?
Yeah. Something to do with domestic violence.
Yeah, see, look, like that. Things like that I could never and never would condone, but with Mike Perry, you can see that there's definitely some deep-seated issues with that guy. I don't know if it's CTE from head trauma or if it's something from him being younger or something like that. But it's there's definitely some deep-seated issues with that guy, and I think Dana said something about they're going to try and hand him some support or give him some sort of. So it's good that they're doing that, and it's good that they're backing him in that sense. But if it does come out in the media that it's true that he was, domestically abusing his ex-wife or whatever, then that's not good, man.
Not a good look on him as well. It definitely will put his value down, 100%.
To be honest, but yeah, I agree.
I also saw that you were giving away free training advice and diet advice. Would you like to tell everyone who's watching what they can expect to see on that course and how they could find more about it? Or they could find more about it.
If you have a look on my Instagram page, Muir, basically what I'm doing for people is I'm not going to sit there and tailor a whole 8-week workout regime like a camp and give people nutritional advice. I'm a level 3 personal trainer, so I can give advice, not diet plans and things like that. So if people approach me and they message me, I will have a chat with them about their goals, what they're at right now with regards to weight and things like that. If it's weight loss that they want to do, weight gain, build muscle, things like that. So over the course of my journey of training, doing fitness, and prior to MMA, I'd done some bodybuilding and things like that. I'm going to look to apply that kind of knowledge to people. So fitness, the reason why I've done it was obviously people are struggling a little bit at the moment with lockdowns and stuff like that, and there's not a lot going on. You can't really go out and do the things you used to be able to do. So I believe a lot of people are jumping on the fitness wave, but a lot of people that are jumping on the fitness wave haven't experienced it before and might not have an insight into what to do or how to do it or where to start. So I thought I'd put that post up, and I don't regret it, but I've had a lot of people message me. So I was actually up until about 1:30 in the morning last night, getting back to absolutely everybody. I wanted to make sure I got back to everybody before sort of the next day, but that doesn't put me off at all. So if I get more people message me from this, I'll 100% give them the same attention as I did the other guys, and hopefully we can get them started.
So as you said there, head over to your Instagram, go check it out, and hopefully you follow your diet plan and the free training advice. That hopefully you go over to his Instagram, check that out, because I imagine within mixed martial artists you've got kind of your head screwed on.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when it comes to, to be honest with you, everything I've learned with regards to mixed martial arts and cutting weight and in such a short amount of time, which is unhealthy, and I would never recommend anyone do it for an elongated period of time. But I've learned it from Nathaniel, and I've learned it from Brad, and the boys down at GB Top Team. Pretty much ever since Nathan kind of took me under his metaphorical wing, he's taught me everything I know with regards to martial arts and cutting weight and things like that. He's been at every single one of my weight cuts, so much so to the point where I actually stayed around his house on a blow-up bed on the floor because I had a little bit more. I had to wake up as a lad, I think a kilo or something to cut in the bath when I woke up the next morning. So, but yeah, they're good to me, man.
That's a brilliant story to hear. I would love to hear more about it. But that's actually kind of a good segue onto my next question. My question was, at GB Top Team, it kind of seems like you boys over there have good chemistry, and when one of you goes to fight, everyone comes to fight and everyone supports. I've kind of seen it on the, I think it's the Ginger and the Fighter. I've seen the behind the scenes of that, and it feels like when someone from GB Top Team goes to fight, you're all fighting. Your support from there is unreal. So what's it like being inside the walls and the chemistry inside?
Mate, it's a family. Like everybody says it, and everybody will say it. It's not a team; it's a family. It is definitely an individual sport. It's not a team sport. You fight as an individual, but if you need someone, then they're there regardless. Like someone will stay back after wrestling or sparring, and they'll hold pads for you. For example, Nick Bagley made his pro debut earlier this year, and he didn't have anyone to cut weight with, so everybody was busy. Some people were up north getting ready to compete. So what I did, I picked him up in the morning from Brad's house. I drove him over to the sauna. I sat in the sauna with him. I was rubbing sweet sweat on his body and flicking his sweat off with a credit card and stuff, helping him make weight, and then took him to Brad's and he weighed in. But it's not just me; anybody would do it. Wesley, Nick, Yuki, Nathan, Brad, Banny, anybody would do it. So it's being part of that team's like being part of a family. Everyone looks after everyone.
100%. Before Great Britain Top Team, you was Team Titan. So
I never trained at Titan. I actually trained out of a gym called Raptors initially in Sutton, and that's actually how I met Nathan. I just started doing some PTs with him when he got back from training, and then one PT turned into a PT with him, and then a PT with his dad, and then from that point I joined the MMA class that Banny Dundavan, who's in my team now, he used to take for beginners, and then I pretty much turned up every single day to that gym and trained for maybe 8 months solid, 6 months solid, and then Nathan introduced me to Brad in a coffee shop. It was in Cafe Nero, and Brad basically said to me, "So do you want to fight or what?" And at this point I'd had maybe 6 months training or 8 months training. I was like, "Yeah, man, I definitely want to fight." He was like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "I just don't think I'm ready yet." I went up and got us some cappuccinos, came back down. He was like, "You're fighting in 4 weeks." I was like, "What?" And he's like, yeah, you're going to make your debut July 27th on Celtic Gladiators. And I'm not going to tell Brad Pickett I'm not fighting. So I was like, okay, fuck it, let's just get into it. And then that's it, threw in at the deep end.
What a story to hear. So you had 6 months training, you went to Brad Pickett and he said, do you want to fight? You said, I'm not ready yet. And he said, you're fighting in 4 weeks. Oh, like that.
Yeah, he put it right on me, but he put it right on me, but do you know what I mean? I think that's the best way to do it, because you can sit and overthink things, or you can overplan things and it might not go your way. And yeah, he just kind of he threw me in at the deep end, and I managed to tread water, so it was alright.
Yeah, you said you weren't ready, but you was ready clearly, because that first fight
won by knockout in the last second of the last round. Took my time.
How did that feel?
Mate, it was crazy. It's a surreal feeling actually getting in there. I've watched MMA for a long time, and I always sat and thought that would be something I'd really like to do at a good level. But I didn't think the stars would align. I didn't think I'd meet the right people. I didn't think I'd get involved with the right people and actually do it. And then all in the space of sort of 6 months, it all kind of happened at once. And when I actually got there and I saw the guy, I fought a lightweight. So I'm not a tall lightweight. I'm like 5'8", 5'9". But I saw the guy and he was like 6 foot. So I was like, oh fuck, he's a tower, like he's a big boy. And then when we got in, I just felt like a duck to water, man. Everything kind of went exactly how I pictured it. The 4 weeks building up to the fight, so it was great. And I got the knockout, got the finish. You said there you fought at 155, but then the fight after that you fought at catchweight 150, then went back up to 155. What is your preferred weight to fight at? What is your preferred weight to fight at? I'd say while I'm amateur, I'm going to stay at 155. I'm going to stay at 70 kilos, just because I don't see the point in, or even Nathan said this to me, I don't see the point in cutting a lot of weight right now while I'm just kind of in my baby phase, learning stage. But for example, if Cage Warriors Academy approached me and said, we'd like you to fight for the featherweight belt, 100% I'll be sitting there cutting weight for that belt. I love that belt. I want that belt. That's my goal before I turn pro.
Well, you kind of just answered my question. I said, moving on. Well, sort of. I said, where would you haven't really got a contract with a company. You fought a WC MMA, Celtic Gladiator. That's it, Gladiator. You fought a UC MMA, which is the history a lot behind that promotion. That's been around for years. But you're a free agent.
Yeah, so at the moment
you're a free agent.
Yeah, so at the moment I can pretty much fight anywhere. I was approached by the guy that promotes for Shogun MMA, and that's the guy that offered me the title fight up in Canterbury for next month, which unfortunately I can't take. But hopefully he comes back to me again in the beginning of the year, because that'll be a good way to get back into things. I was meant to fight a guy called Amir Alishi, and I definitely want to fight him. So if he sees this, let's get that sorted for the beginning of next year. And then after that, I'll be 4-0. So I'd like to have 2 more amateur fights, and then I'd like to turn pro. And on those 2 fights, I'd like to do what Yuki did. Yuki fought twice in one night on Cage Warriors, and he actually walked away with a belt. So I would love to do like a little tournament or something. If not, then I just want to fight for that belt.
Well, next,
100%, that's what I want before the end of all this, for sure.
Would that be the biggest accolade in your career, or would be the biggest accolade in your career? Is getting to MMA, doing MMA, experiencing it. Doing MMA, experiencing it.
When I started, I didn't think I'd ever get a belt. I didn't think I'd ever get a title. I thought it's a tricky sport, really. You can't look too far into the future. You got to take it one fight at a time. But when I was offered that title fight back in March, and I took it, I knew the guy was tough. I knew he had the same record as me, 2-0. He was undefeated. So I knew it was going to be a tough fight. But then going in there, I felt comfortable with the guy. He didn't have anything that kind of threw me off or put me off. And it ended up being a really, really good fight. And I got that. So that was a great accolade. That was a great accomplishment. But as you achieve things, you always want to level up. You always want to get better and better, especially in a competitive sport like this. So yeah, I'm guessing I get that Cage Warriors featherweight title. That'll be the biggest thing I've done.
Yeah, going back to GB Top Team, I feel like I've interviewed half a GB Top Team. I've had Brad Pickett, I've had Wood, I've got you. I'm gonna have to get Bagley in.
Yuki and Denver. Yuki and Denver. Yeah, he's a good guy.
About him. I've seen him a lot on Brad Pickett's story when he's like pranking him behind the bushes and stuff and doing stuff like that. I've seen a lot of you guys getting pranked by Brad Pickett. And where did that originally come from? While we're on that topic.
Brad has always done that pretty much since I've known him. The first time I met him, he pantsed me in front of like 30 people in the gym. Like I was getting my hands wrapped. There's actually a video of it. I was getting my hands wrapped by the guy I was about to hit pads with, and he's just walked in, seen me, done like a 360, and then just pulled my pants down in front of everyone. And I'm like standing there with my hand out like this. Someone's wrapping my hands, and I'm just looking. I was like, I can't even pull my trousers up, and everyone's just laughing at me. And then from that point on, I knew he was a bit of a prankster, a bit of a practical joker. But he does it to everybody, even if he doesn't know you, he'll do it. He's got a really good sense of humour.
Yeah, Brad is, I could imagine, a brilliant guy to be around, and an elite level coach. His knowledge, his experience, he's probably going to hand it down to everyone in your gym, and you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, man, he's a very passionate guy.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go back to the original question before we got off topic. GB top team, you've got probably endless possibilities because you've got that top team at the end of it. You know, you're kind of an affiliate of top team. You got American top team, Brazilian top team. The list goes on. Would there be some time in the future that you'd like to travel over to American top team, just kind of get some knowledge from the American guys and see what?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to go over there and do some. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to go over there and do some training. I know, like Nathan. I think Louis Gonzalez went over there. Ashley Grimshaw went over there quite a while ago. Yeah. And Nathan said to me it was really, really good. So I think it would be quite cool to get over there and do a bit of training with those guys. Me and Nathan are actually planning to go over to Phuket top team in the new year, over in Thailand, because we kind of said we wanted to do a bit of travelling over in Thailand. So I think we're going to go over there, stay with those guys for a bit, do a bit of training and a bit of travelling. So yeah, I'd definitely like to go to the one in Thailand and the one in Florida, Coconut Creek for sure.
Oh yeah, Coconut Creek. You got elite levels in Coconut Creek. I can list the names. They go on and on and on. But you said Phuket top team. If you go into Thailand, you come with that shredded.
I think if you go to American top team, you're going to add to your wrestling. If you go over to Phuket top team, you're definitely going to add. So next year, that's the plan. I'd like to do both of those if I could.
While we're on the topic of different martial arts, what's your preferred martial arts? Where do you see yourself having an advantage in?
Definitely my striking. Definitely on the feet. Definitely my striking. Definitely on the feet. My whole first fight was pretty much a stand-up match. The third fight was pretty much a stand-up match too. I don't think my ground game's been tested yet. Don't get me wrong. I do have a lot of faith in my ground game. My jiu-jitsu I learned from Ashley Grimshaw, so as you know, he's a high-level black belt. Brad is a great grappler, and obviously Nathan, we grapple quite a lot during the week. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more of a striker, but my jiu-jitsu's not been tested yet. So I'm hoping maybe the next couple of fights I get to showcase some of that.
You said your jiu-jitsu hasn't been tested, but you have a 90-second submission. 90-second submission.
That to me is not jiu-jitsu. I mean, you can see from the video I was pissed because I trained. That was a good 8-week camp. I even had to cut weight because obviously it was a catch weight, so I wanted to come down. And then for all that effort, you know, my whole family, friends, everyone, supporters, fans, sponsors buying tickets to come and watch me fight for 19 seconds, and it was a guillotine and not a very good one either. I wanted a bit more of a chance to showcase my skills. At the moment, it's all about how much time you can spend in the cage. When I turn pro, if I can knock everybody out in 10 seconds, cool, I'll do that. But at the moment, it's this is my learning phase, so I want as much time in there as I can get.
Yeah, you can't answer my next question. It was that 3 fights, 3 different outcomes, 1 by decision, 1 by knockout, and 1 by submission. And then you kind of answered where you like to, go in your fight. So we'll move on. So you fought. You answered that one as well. So last question is: I presume the goal is to get to the UFC. How would it feel to say to yourself, "I'm a UFC fighter. I'm in the UFC." I'm in the UFC.
For everybody, that's the end goal. That is the echelon, the pinnacle of MMA. Yeah. You know, there's no promotion like it. I've had the opportunity to go and corner Nathaniel at a UFC in Rio Rancho back in New Mexico, and just against John Dodson, and just to see, you know, the level of talent out there and like the service that they provide as a promotion, and like the people you get to meet. Like, these are actually real people. I met DC, you know, the double champ, like not hanging around with these types of people. So it's pretty surreal. But everybody's end goal for sure is to get to that UFC level. So I would definitely like to get there one day. That'd be great. Who you want to be?
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Jordan, for joining me, and hopefully you can pitch yourself, get that kick for his academy. The spotlight is yours, Jordan. Whatever you want to say.
Take care.
Thank you.